Welcome to SweetSpotDFS. I have a video here showing you how to create lineups using spreadsheets, and then also how to upload those to DraftKings and or FanDuel. I'm going to show you how to do DraftKings. Same thing applies for FanDuel though. Without further ado, let's get into the spreadsheets and take a look at those. Every week I create spreadsheets. I fill the spreadsheets with data. First I import, or I should say I download the lineups, or I should say the golf information from DraftKings, the player information. And then with that, I populate all of my spreadsheets. So I create a spreadsheet for each week, for each tournament, and this one obviously is the US Open. And I just kind of look at information I find to be important. I really value I call it grass history stats. I don't really so much care for the swing metrics, but I do use that for tiebreakers. And then for this case, I have the Pebble Beach Pro-Am course history for additional information. But if you looked at the US Open preview video, if you watched that, you know which golfers I'm on. I kept that information here, so I've starred the golfers in that column furthest to the left, that column I, which really just stands for interest. So I have them starred. So what I do is again, you've seen the US Open preview video, you saw the golfers I'm into. Now it's time to create lineups. So what I do is I have two windows that I open, and I have two monitors. So I have two screens. I usually have, the lineup construction page on one monitor, and then the US Open page on the other. And I just go between the two. I'll look at one, copy and paste over into the other. But for those of you that don't have two monitors, you only have the one, open up two windows, put, basically anything you're grabbing data from, and then the lineup construction page is essentially, well, for me, I don't have to use DraftKings to create lineups. I can just create lineups on spreadsheets. So that's why I have this lineup construction page. So if I were to put a golfer here, it updates how much his salary is and how much I have average remaining per player. Pretty neat, huh? That way I don't have to flip through DraftKings and then just see how much I have left over. I can do it right here. And that way you can, do a cascade method. You can do whatever you want to do. This helps with that. So again, what you would do, so let me show you. Basically in contests, so if we were to go to a contest, sorry, that I didn't have this open already, but if we were to go to contest, let's say we want to go to the Millie Maker. Shows I have no funds. Oh no, that's right, it's $100. So let's go to the $3 birdie. Go down to the create new lineup, and then here you'll see this export to CSV. What this will do is, as you can see, there was already, as most of you guys know, when you download a file from the internet, it shows up in the bottom of your browser, so I'm not going to show you where that is, but it opens up a file that looks like this. And what I do is I just kind of copy and paste. I trim off the fat, as I like to call it, all the information that I don't care about. So, roster position and the ID number, don't really care about that. This information I don't care. So I'm stuck with this. And I rename this to fantasy points per game because it's just simpler. And I copy and paste that into the US Open spreadsheet that you saw. So I'm not going to save that. It's already saved. And so that's what that's what I have here. So basically we had these two fields populated. I like to, well, when it comes to exporting stats over, a lot of places go by last name, first name, and also it's just cleaner looking, being able to look someone up by their last name as opposed to their first name. How many Justins are there? How many Dustins or Matts, Matthews, stuff like that? Well, there's only one Dustin Johnson on the PGA Tour. So if you go by Johnson and then you see Dustin, it's easy. I mean, I guess you could say the same thing applies with the other way around, but I think it's just simpler doing this way. But as you can see, so here are those 3 columns, and then I've got my fantasy points per game over here. And that's just kind of the quick rundown of putting them onto spreadsheets. Now it comes to the lineup construction. I'm going to zoom out because I want to show you that I have a filter that I end up filtering this by. I just call it DraftKings. It filters all of these columns up top, so I can sort by whatever I find necessary, whatever I deem important. So I'll just go over here, and right away, actually, let's get back into. So this was on the preview video. I create a bucket system. I create a last year bucket, and I create a last week bucket. And then I rank order them as I find importance. And it just goes by the sum of years. So, for golfers who finished 20th or better the year before, as you can see in 2018, there were 4 golfers who finished inside the top 10 in 2018 that finished inside the top 20 the year before. So that's how that looks, and that's how I do this. So as we can see, as we pan over all of that 20 or better row, those numbers added up equal more than any of the other buckets below it. So that is our highest rated bucket. That is why it has a 1 next to it. And then we just kind of do the same thing for the other ones. And so our second rated bucket is the golfers who did not play the year before. So when we analyze this, or when I analyze it, what I like to sometimes do, not all the time, but I mean, for this, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2017 away for that bucket of 20th or better. We see 1 golfer there. But if you take that out, the min max would be 3 to 6. And that's what I'm going to work with. So my minimum that I'm going to create my lineups with for bucket 1 is 3. So this is what that looks like. So I'm going to go by the last year bucket here. So the last year bucket right here, I am going to remove all of the buckets and only select 1. So as you can see, I have only golfers with that 1. And these are those golfers that finished 20th or better, as you can see right here. So what I'm going to end up doing is, I'll just do this. We'll create 3 lineups to begin with. We'll copy all of those. If you didn't know this already, you can hold down Alt and then tab through the windows that you currently have open. So I'm going to go ahead, go to this page. Actually, it's because my lineup construction is there. So I already have DJ there. I'm just going to go copy and paste. What I ended up doing is I created these just for the video. I created these tiers. So this is tier 1, this is tier 2, and this is tier 3. I'm going to sort by what I'm interested in, and there you go. These are the golfers I'm interested in. So tier 2 is Tommy to Tony. So I'm just going to put that here. Oh my God, I did it wrong. But as you can see, if I go and fix that, it will show up. No problem. So then we'll go here, select these guys, and I'm just doing this really quickly. There's more to it for me when I go ahead and do this, but just for time constraints, I don't want to, go through the whole thing. I've done this video like several times. I've screwed up many times, so I know this is an easier way to do it, and I don't want to take too much time from you. I just want to show you quickly how this is done. So like I said, we want 3 golfers in the last year bucket of 1. We want 1 golfer in last year bucket of 2. So let's go to the 2. And these are my favorite golfers. So I'll put those guys there, and I'll put Kevin Na at the top. Now the other 2 here, I'm just going to go by salary. It does not matter to me which shows up here. So I will select all now. sort by salary, and then sort by who I like, which was already there. I just want to show you guys that's what it was. So we want to find an average of 7,250, and I think when I went through this before, it was like Brant Snedeker we like, and that leaves us with 7,000. We can pick like a, let's pick CH3. So right there, now we have a full lineup completed, and I mean, it just works out where we have our 6 golfers. We've got 3 1s, a 2, a 5, and a 4. That keeps it random in my opinion. And the rest are 8650 or better. So let's go ahead and say we like Justin Thomas, which I do this week. Throw him there, leaves us with 8,000 left. We'll go down here, and I don't think I want that many 4s in a lineup, and I certainly don't want that many 5s, so I'll just add Louis. Louis is somebody we like, and there we go. We got $100 left. And so I'll do the same thing with the Ricky Fowler lineup that I have there. I like Tiger, so we'll throw Tiger in there. And then I like Victor Hovland, which I'm sure a lot of people do. So basically, look at that. It already gives us kind of this flexibility, this randomness to our number coding, which is basically our buckets. Now we have 2 in bucket 2. We have 4 in bucket 1 here, and then this is kind of just standard. You know, we have different numbers here. What I typically like to do is kind of go ahead, find 3 golfers that I really like and put them in column 1. And typically it's of bucket 1. And depending on ownership, of course, we put a dummy lineup in how many? We put a dummy lineup in 122 entries. So I would go down to 122 with these. It's going to have to be 123 because the first column is taken, or the first row is taken by our headers. So I typically do it this way, and then the rest of this I fill with different 1s and sometimes 2s. So if I go back to the spreadsheet, again, clear this, go to 1s. And this is kind of my quick way of doing this, you know. Let's say, because we didn't see any Louis or Webb in this column, we do, you know, I put Louis here, but just for the sake of this, I don't have that, so then I would just go ahead and click and fill. Oh, no, that's right. Can't click and fill on this spreadsheet. So that just kind of does that, and then, you know, for tier 3, as I call it, we didn't put any of these golfers here. So what I will do, just for the sake of the video, you know, making this go a little bit quicker, this is how I kind of randomize the golfers that I like. So we'll do it this way. Scroll this on down. Now, I don't want this many 1s or these many 1s, so it might be worth it to do something like this. And actually, let's do something, you know, since we like these guys, we'll put them like that. And then we continue on with the rest of this. That way we can limit our 1 exposure for exposure to bucket 1 just on certain you know, parts of these lineups. And of course, I would click and drag going forward. But I do know, since I've, you know, done this, I've tried doing this video several times, that I'm just going to keep it simple, and we're just going to click and drag all the way down. I'm going to go to here, though, and then select this lineup, put it here. So just to show you like a cascading effect. So for the rest of these, I'll keep these all the same. So if you guys have a core that you want to stick to, this is your way of doing it, the cascading method. So I know some people out there kind of make it easier for you guys to see doing something like this, where we need to then fill these lineups. This is, again, the cascading method coming back. We'll go ahead and open it up there. And yeah, now that will work. So then we try to find people within those ranges, right? So we go to the 9,000. Let's open it up to everyone. You know, this is pretty simple. So 9,000. Let's go ahead and put. Well, we don't have any Adam Scott or Gary Woodland. Ooh. Here, this is how I'm going to do this. I don't like that because it's not showing all the golfers. It's just showing the ones I'm into. I rather go this way so that I can do something like this. So this is that way of doing it. So 7,700. I know some people just, you know, take people that are close around them. You can do it that way. I'm not gonna hold it against you. Let's do Matt Wallace there, and so essentially that's how I'm going to do that. But what I'm really going to do just to speed this up is just take the golfers that I like. Maybe I'll just throw them like this. That way, yeah, that works. We put some Charles Howell there, some Brandt Snedeker. Oh, we can't put Charles Howell there. What am I thinking? How about Victor? Can we do that on any of these? Can't do it there. Can we do it here? You know what? I'm just going to do it this way just to, again, just to speed things up. We already have a bunch of these Eric Van Rooyen, so I don't know. I'm not making this any quicker for you guys, but you guys can see how this would work out. And you know what? I don't care. We'll do this. Grab some Tiger, put him here. How are we over? Oh, sure. Some JT, put him there. Let's not put JT there. Let's put somebody a bit more expensive. Rory. Put Rory there. So we've got those 9,000 golfers again. Go ahead and put Hideki and Tony. Sure. So then what we do, go back to here. We want to edit entries up here. What this is going to do is bring you to a page that shows you which entries you want to edit in which contests and which styles of contests. So I'm obviously going to select Classic. I've already done this before, so you're going to see, again, that download pops up down here. It's going to open something like this up. I'm going to trim the fat, which is, you know, the information we already know. These are our lineups right here. So just to make this really quick, go back to our lineup construction, and from G all the way down to the bottom here, we'll go back to the spreadsheet and copy paste. Don't do the formatting. That's going to make it messed up. It's going to look weird. Just go ahead and just select the data only. And essentially that's it. So we'll save this. Go ahead and save it. There we go. I've already saved a lineup. It did not work. So we're going to go ahead and do that. X out of here. Go back into the DK page. Go ahead and upload the CSV that we just created. Again, you have to save it as a CSV. I didn't say that before, but you do. It is downloaded as a CSV. And then we go ahead and we import those lineups. So as you can see, we successfully imported 122 out of 122. Go back to our lineups, and as you recall, if you saw before, it showed 122 different lineups. This is going to show. Okay, so we imported all those lineups, but because we have 37 lineups that were exactly the same, which, you know, it was just me creating these lineups really quickly. But that is how you would import. You just saw 122 lineups get imported. Well, if you have 122 different lineups, there you go. That's how it's done. One quick piece to add to all of this is, so if I go and open this again, you can sort by the contest that you're in. So I'll go ahead, zoom in. I tried doing this before. It didn't really work out when I was kind of going through it, but just so you guys can see this. I'll zoom in, go ahead, expand that. So we can see the contest names that I'm in, the contest IDs that I'm also in, and then the entry fee. Now, what I like to do, I'm going to narrow this a little bit because we don't really necessarily, I don't care that you see the golfers. I like to create another column here. And then I will just go ahead and number them however, I don't know. I just try to do something random and then click and fill. Sure. I don't care that those numbers are like that. I mean, in a way, yeah, I don't like that it's like that. So let's go ahead. I don't know why it does that. It's kind of stupid. I don't know what it's looking at to do all that, to make it look that way, but whatever. Again, I'm not sure what any of this information is showing me. Actually, I don't know the lineups, but then I'll come up here and just select these 5 columns, scroll to the bottom here, go to the data page, sort. So I'm going to then sort by this. And what this does is it kind of randomizes what your lineups here are for the entry fees. So for this, like PGA Birdie, do I like Rose, Hideki, Hatton, Peters, Thomas, and Oosthuizen? Absolutely do. So I'm going to keep it that way. So then, I mean, and you can sort. You can, I will sit here and I will sort on different columns to randomize this as much as I possibly can, just to, you know, try to get my eyes off of something that I'm drawn to. It is my way, like I said again, to randomize what I'm entering. So I should have kept it as it was, because now we're going to get a bunch of these, like, you know, I mean, this is a way to mass enter for the quarter jukebox. But let's just say we're satisfied with what we see. We would delete this column 5. We would save the spreadsheet, and then we would upload it again, and it will update these contests that are right there. And that's, you know, this is your way of kind of manipulating what you want, like which lineups you want in certain contests. One other piece that I want to add is, if you do have a lineup that you like quite a bit, that you want to mass enter in a bunch of contests. So one thing that I like to do is, I'm just going to name this G, it doesn't matter. I'm going to sort by this, and we're going to sort by first contest name, and then we're going to sort by the contest ID. So what this will do is it'll show us basic, oh, I don't want to do that. We're going to sort by contest ID and then sort by name. That's what we wanted to do, so contest name. So all of these lineups here, I have, or all these contests that I'm entered here, if you look at the contest ID, I'm in 2 of each. And my purpose behind this is I'm going to create one lineup that will be in all of these contests at least once. And then I'm going to randomize the rest. So an easy way to do that would be do this kind of if statement. So we're going to go ahead and go, if this equals that, I want it to give me a result of 1. If it doesn't, I just want it to be empty. So if we just scroll down, and right away what you see is, hey, this formula understands that this is the same as that. And therefore, it provides me a result of 1. Now, if I go down here and just go all the way down to here, I'm going to copy and paste because there's a formula in there. And when we go ahead and sort this now, we will sort by contest ID. Actually, no. We'll sort by that column G. And now it will separate, as you can see, now it's not here. So if we go down here, if we go back to our spreadsheet, we have, let's say we want this in all of, I'm sorry. We put them here. So obviously this should be G all the way across. Just for the DraftKings, you need 6 Gs. So I'm going to go ahead, click and drag all the way down to where the last one is. So this will give me the same lineup in all of these contests. And that's my way of mass entering a lineup into contests. Just a single lineup. This doesn't, do the doesn't go through the rest of them, or however I'm trying to say that. Well, it doesn't randomize your lineups. It doesn't give you a different lineup. That's what I'm trying to get at. There we go. So for the rest of this, I'm not going to care about what I did here with the cascading effect. I'm just going to grab this information up. Now, these are the same lineups. Actually, you know what? That's fine. Let's just go here. I really don't know where the threshold is, but let's say now we just paste the rest of it here and then just get rid of whatever is left down here. And then I'm going to just show you what this looks like. So we got column G out of the way. We will save, go back to the import, which we were already there. So if I go back to lineups, edit entries, upload CSV, upload that same lineup. Again, it's successfully uploaded. Go back to the lineups. We should have like, I don't know how many, there were 56 lineups. So that lineup that I showed you is entered 56 times. So if I go to the contest that I'm in, pull up, this, just one of them. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Let's go back. Let's just click in here. I think this will show us what we want to see, right? No. I guess if I was on my phone, what I'd be able to see is the same. Oh, here are my entries. There we go. This is what I wanted to see, right? Does it show my name? Just shows my opponents. Okay. Well, anyways, basically, oh, I know how to do this. There we go. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. So all of these lineups here are different. Nope, go to my contest. That's how it's done. That's what we want. So this way, we've got our lineup page here. And if you guys said no, you can do it this way and look at your different lineups. So this Fleetwood, Howell, Johnson, Nah, Snedeker, and Stenson are in every single one of those $50 winner-take-all lineups. So, and then the rest of them should be random. So as you can tell, those two are random. These two are the same. And that's how you mass enter, one lineup in several contests. So hopefully that was informational for you guys. I don't really have anything other than that to show you guys. This is how I use the bucket system to create lineups, and then this is how I upload those lineups to DraftKings. With that, I'll give you back your day. Thank you for watching. If you like the episode or if you like the show, please leave a like. If you have any feedback, please comment. And if you're not already, please subscribe. That way you can see videos that I post. I'm going to try to create a couple more how-tos and then go from there. But once again, thank you for watching and have a good day. Good luck. Peace.